We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone, and then welcome to episode. No, that's not right. It is not 244. It is 544 of the Scholars of Wrestling. I looked right at my notes. And I'm like, wait a second. That's wrong. That is not the right number. Let's see. I'm confirming this. Yes. Last time was 543. This episode is 544 of the Scholars of Wrestling show. I am your OG undisputed scholar and your current reigning Scholars of Wrestling party champion, Scholar Tarek. I know I'm not Scholar Jeff. As he likes to put it, Scholar Jeff is on assignment right now. So now I am taking the reins. The undisputed scholars are taking over the main show. We have our own show with a top of the mountain. Still a name in progress, but we are taking over the main show with my co-host, my fellow undisputed scholar, Scholar Brian. Hello, Scholar Brian.
Hello, good sir, holding it down from on top of this mountain, having a good time, getting a pretty normal week in wrestling. So it's nice to take a load off, hang out on top of this mountain, and look down at all those people climbing up. Uh, Getting pretty close to the top is our other guest tonight.
Other guest. No, he is our other host. Yes, you are absolutely right. He is really working hard this year to join us on top of that mountain, and he's making his name known as the current reigning. Has he defended yet? Has he
No, he
defended
has
yet?
not.
Okay, not defending yet. Scholars of Wrestling Heavyweight Champion of the World, Scholar Pete. Hello, Scholar Pete. How are you this evening, sir?
As I live and breathe.
Very
Good
good, very good.
evening, gentlemen. It is a tall mountain to climb, but I indeed am climbing it. And like I've told to the millions and millions of fans out there wanting me to continue to be Scholars of Champion, I will be your Scholars of Champion, and I will defend my belt. Elimination Chamber 2027. You heard it here, folks. It is the yearly tour as me with Scholar as the champion. But, gentlemen, it is a great day because we're going to be talking about some wrestling. No
Wouldn't you say
predictions, just
wouldn't you
wrestling.
say you're saying you're on tour of being Scholars of Wrestling champion? Wouldn't you just call this an improv tour? Hmm.
Hmm.
There you go. It's called branding, sir. Take full hold of it. Mr. Improv Pete. I see your name down there in that little corner. There you go. It's good. Improv tour, improv champ. You should actually change it to that one. Improv champ Pete. I mean, we can go right. We can say whatever we want. We're the hosts of this show. We're taking full control. Undisputed scholars, just taking these reins. Looking back on this, trying to think of the right word to describe it, but all I can just really say is weak. And I'm not even just talking about the 7 days. This week in professional wrestling on both sides of the fence. Unfortunately, I must say, of all the weeks we've had,
This
it is
was
very
certainly
much.
one of them.
This was
This was
certainly one of
certainly
them.
one of them.
This just shows we still have 3 to 4 weeks left till WrestleMania, and I don't even remember how long we have until Dynasty. What is it, 2 weeks? Isn't it
Dynasty,
right
we have
before?
2 weeks,
Oh, that's
two
right. That
weeks,
one's
three
right
weeks
before
for
Mania.
WrestleMania.
Yep.
It's one of those things that reminds you that hey, sometimes the wait between pay-per-views is a little bit too long because we get weeks like this where it's pretty much just inch by inch build. And it's like, okay, so this was a week that happened. Nothing really bad, but nothing really great.
I mean,
It's
like
just kind of there.
we're getting progress. And I will say, like, with like some of the storylines, we are getting progress that I'm actually like, okay, this is the extra like juiciness that I like to see in this build. But it's still just like, okay, with just how things are presented. Like it's working on account of the storytelling, but it's not as enthralling. It's not grabbing me as much as I was hoping for. And it's really such a sad thing to really start this episode, but I we like to be honest on this show, and when things are going great, it is just over the moon fantastic. But when things are just basically like, we we're here, building, building. Okay, we're getting build. And it's showing that although I do enjoy long-term storytelling, sometimes that long road is definitely going to leave a few cracks, bumps that are just unpleasant. And I guess I can't really think of a better way to really segue into it, but let's go ahead and jump over to the WWE side of things and just look at how WrestleMania is being built up. First, well, one thing, we got SmackDown, and the only real thing to really mention on that one is just, Randy Orton kills Matt Cardona.
Hey,
Oh, yeah,
I'm,
Damian,
I'm,
Damian Priest and R-Truth are tag team champions. Well, there goes my WrestleMania prediction card out the way. Only some
that
of
was
it out the
pretty much,
window.
that was pretty much my reaction. I'm like, well, those nice little tag team matches that Tarek had planned for WrestleMania, we could pretty much say fuck that and get it out of there.
Unfortunately, yeah. But that was really it that happened on SmackDown. So it was just like, all right, Matt Cardona is killed. Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, he's always the third wheel in a storyline and always gets fucked over. But with that being said, let's go ahead and just jump on the main focus on this topic, at least on the WWE side, is Monday Night Raw, where it was a good, strong opener. You have Bork Laser come on out with Paul Heyman, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we've seen this before. We've had so many people come and say they're going to be the one who tops the beast and all that. We got a Dean Ambrose name call, which got a big response from the Boston crowd, and then saying, "Oh, because Brock Lesnar he took out Seth Rollins. Uh, what were they called? Or at least what did I call them? The league, Seth Rollins' League of Shadows. He took them out, which apparently is now even throwing away the prediction of Braun Breaker being one of those League of Shadow members out the window. But oh yeah, he took them out. Oba caught Brock Lesnar off guard, and that leads to Oba Femi coming out and taking out Brock Lesnar again and clotheslining him out of the ring and leaving Brock Lesnar shook. I must say, of all the storylines or of all the matches that being built to WrestleMania, this one is the most simple but effective storyline build for WrestleMania. Would you guys agree?
I couldn't agree more with you, Scholar Tark. I mean, it's something where Brock Lesnar, no matter how you shape it, is just a beast, literally. And the matches he's done over his career, I mean, the man has broken the Undertaker's streak. Like,
Yeah.
was it like deserved for him? No, he was already a made man. There was no doubt about that. But again, he's just that big name. We don't have that John Cena anymore. We got Brock Lesnar. And for Omi Femi to come in and just be dominant in this story and to see Brock giving back to the business because that's what you see it in with last week with him smiling. You saw the Femi be crying like with the tear. Like it's showing a passing of the torch. It's showing that it is truly the old guard. And I don't mean this in a disparaging way. You gentlemen know that. Like the old guard is leaving. Like the true old guard of like the not the ruthless aggression era, I'll call it. That's what we're ending right now. And it's seeing these new guys and seeing this simple story where we've always said, oh, Brock's just going to come in, German suplex 13 people and move on. And then it's going to be Brock just being Brock. But for the storyline to go how it is, for them to make Oba look just fantastic with the people now in the crowd doing the entry, like this man is just a like he I'm not compare I he is Brock Lesnar. He is the new Brock Lesnar, I feel, for this WWE. And for Brock to give the hey, good luck, kid, at this storyline, like you said, simple but effective. Better words cannot be said. Scholar Brian, what are your thoughts?
And it's basically, you can tell straight off the bat when Brock Lesnar is invested in what he is doing. And when he is invested in what he's doing, it's always some of the best stuff that WWE has to offer. Say what you want about how he goes about his business and what his matches are. But when he's invested and you get the best out of Brock Lesnar, like that's, he makes people. He makes people and he makes the crowd want to see someone beat him. Okay. And now, for the first time in a while, you have someone who can out Brock Brock. So
If
it's like, it's one of those shoot this guy to the moon. And like, I can see this guy being champion by some. I see this guy on the Brock Lesnar projection from when he started. Have him be the champion by SummerSlam. Because if he beats Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, you can't tell me if he's not champion by SummerSlam after beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. That'll be the time where I'm like, all right, yeah, this Triple H experiment. This is the first time when I'm like, no, get him out. But it's not in a serious manner. But I'm like, that's the first time where it'll be like, nah, bro, you completely fucked that up. That's
so wait, a scholar's quick talk to you, gentlemen. Where do you place this match? Because clearly the match is becoming a bigger and bigger by the week. Do
well,
you have it open a show?
I honestly think the best thing to do might be that
That's what I'm thinking too.
open night two,
Yep.
Well,
open
gee,
open night open night one with like whatever multi-man ladder match that you come up with at some point to get the crowd into WrestleMania weekend. But the night that you're going to pick to be your biggest, which should always be night two. Okay, this is a huge match, and I'd say open night two,
Fully agree. Fully agree.
which I believe is what Tarek did on our WrestleMania card show. He had it
that,
open night
yep,
too.
that is exactly where I put it. Where we're looking at you guys talking about like, gee, if only someone actually made this call a couple of weeks ago. Oh yeah, that's right. I did make that prediction call. It's actually what I'm kind of now looking forward to. If you want to know mine and Brian's prediction on the WrestleMania card, go ahead and watch that episode from a couple of weeks ago. Or was it
and
last
you can
week? It
and
was,
you can
it
see
doesn't matter.
and you can see who is fully prepared and who is not.
Exactly. Oh man, but hey, you still you still named good matches, sir. I will still give you that. I just took those extra steps and be like, okay, where do I put them on? Like, I think that was actually the hardest part of it. Honestly, I gave myself just too much extra homework that was just going, oh man, okay, I think here goes here. Oh shit, maybe okay, to try and make it fit. Well, does that should that go into night two? But yeah, last week, not 2 weeks ago, last week we did the prediction of what the final card of WrestleMania is going to be. Go ahead and just watch that one, see how far off I both of us are so far with this build to WrestleMania and how much we're actually, on the right track there. Um, but yeah, that was when it comes to Oba and Brock. Yeah, the opening of night two is the best option. Ooh, excuse me. Um, it's pretty much just making that statement on the second night, which is, as we are putting it, the more, I guess, just to say, is more the more main event of the two nights. Um, Whether or not they're actually going to have Brock put him over, that's still another story. I mean, it's a show. It's said that reported is the better word to put it. It's reported that Brock's time here in WWE is a short term. So either it's like, okay, make a statement with this new guy that is just, again, as Brian put it, should be world champion. He says something just in general at some point by the end of the year, 2026, that man Obafemi should be a WWE champion, whether it's the world title or the WWE championship. He should be no mid skipping through the mid card and just going right to main event spot. Um, and moving on Raw, continuing, I guess we'll continue it with the Paul Heyman storyline. Is the next big story that come out of this was once uh once you have Paul Heyman. Once Brock Lesnar upset, he left the arena. Logan Paul and Austin Aries are kind of out of it because of what happened in the tag team match with the Usos. I guess I'll go more into that one when we actually talk about the Roman Punk part of Raw. But you have the Theory and Logan Paul out, so Paul Heyman is just out on his own. He's he's saying, "Okay, I'm not calling you out for a match or anything. I'm just saying let's just get this over with. You know what to do. Seth, come on out. Where are you?" Seth comes out and we got the restraining order storyline and Seth Rollins is pushed away. Paul Heyman wants to just dig more in that wound, saying, "Oh, Becky Lynch is gonna leave you, and your daughter is and she's gonna sleep around with everyone in the back, and your daughter is just gonna be left alone. And don't worry, I'll take your daughter, I'll adopt her and raise her as my own." Seth Rollins is like, "Oh hell no, you won't!" Run back down and gives a nice good old punch to Paul Heyman. He gets arrested. Paul Heyman's laughing. And all I could think of is, yep, this is just building time to have Braun Breaker heal a little more just so he can be ready for his upcoming match with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And it's not a bad choice. Seth has been arrested before. It's Becky's been arrested before, so it's just a bit just the
All
man
in the
the
family.
it just runs the record that both those two people have. I mean, Jesus, happy couple just so likes to be behind bars, apparently. Poor daughter. But yeah, nothing really said else to say. It's just okay. We're still Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins is appearing to be the match that they're aiming towards, and Braun is just basically getting to that point where he's about to cross the finish line to be cleared and brought back into the show. So, does
I'm
this
going.
actually help? Does this help
uh,
you guys be more
No,
invested in this?
no. In fact, it makes me not. It this whole bit since Seth Rollins came back with his League of Shadowy Ninjas doing the two step, trying to doing getting allowing Seth Rollins to leave, and most of this has just been goofy. And the all even the arrest and the restraining order and Paul Heyman talking shit about the daughter, it's like all of this is goofy, man. And it's
Seth Rollins goofy?
and,
No.
no, but it's like they try to do it in a serious manner, but everything about it is so goofy that I can't take it seriously. and I'm just waiting for the moment that Braun Breaker does Braun Breaker things. Because up until then, I'm just gonna be like, this is just more goofy shit. And for a Seth Rollins Paul Heyman storyline, and why is it so goofy? I didn't know.
Do you share this sentiment, champ? Do you think
I
it's
do,
goofy?
especially when it comes to those two being one of the best mouthpieces in the business, and Rollins, who literally I saw on Twitter earlier today. It's like who always gives 5-star matches. It shows Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, the phenomenal one AJ Styles, and Seth Rollins, and I'm just like any of them could have 5-star matches on any given day, and I do like with Braun coming back and having them do the WrestleMania, but it's when it comes to Raw right now, we touched on it before with with CM Punk and Roman Reigns. That's obviously a big storyline. You have the big storyline as well with our the most recent our first news story. So you just, where is this fitting in the scheme of things? Brock and Omi is over. Punk and Roman is great. This is not hitting the levels it should be hitting because these other storylines going on in Raw are just so much bigger and so much more invested.
I think it's just because they're waiting for Braun to come back. That's pretty much it, because you're not getting anything real. The only physical that we've gotten was was like I said earlier, Brock Lesnar destroying Seth Rollins' League of Shadows, which seems to just be a response to everyone seeing that whole thing and thinking this is just stupid. So it's like, okay, we were hoping the fans were gonna be invested in this, but turns out they're just not. They're more looking down on it. So let's just have Brock Lesnar kill it. And yeah, that's pretty much what they did. They didn't show up on this one. It was just Seth appearing by himself. And it just the biggest question that I've been seeing on the internet with the Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman storyline is Seth just not an interesting face that whenever he's put in a face storyline, he is just shown to just look, as some people put it, not cool. When you look back on how he did with the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and all that, you're just looking at this and be like, well, he's still kind of just that annoying character that just is there, and we're just going, I kind of don't want him to be there. I'm not really, he's a great wrestler. I'm just not invested in what he's doing. So my question is there really, is it just waiting for Braun to come back, or is there anything else that could actually save this storyline, particularly for you gentlemen?
I mean, honestly, if Braun doesn't come back, I don't know what we're doing here. I have no idea what the plan is if Braun isn't cleared because it seems like Seth Rollins has moved away from the Logan Paul Austin theory of it all. And so it's like you've backed yourself into a corner here because what are you going to do if Braun Breaker isn't cleared? Because Logan Paul and Austin Theory don't make sense anymore.
They don't make
It's
sense,
like
period, because when Bronson
Logan
and
Paul,
Braun left, they weren't even a
yeah,
part of the group, so it's not even like
Logan,
really worth his
yeah,
time.
but it's like Logan Paul and Austin Theory are in the tag team chase. So you are hoping against hope that Braun Breaker gets cleared because if he's not, where do you go? Like I hope they have a backup plan, but it's one of those it's Braun Breaker or bust because the build up to this point has been shit. Let's just call it what it is. And if it doesn't end with at least end up in a match with Braun Breaker because Braun Breaker I go with Tarek's league Braun Breaker's in the League of Shadows and he takes off and he just spears the shit out of Seth Rollins when they try to do the gag again, and he takes the mask off, and it's Braun Breaker. But I'm like, if you don't do that, then you've basically wasted your time with 7 weeks of a dumbass story to begin with.
So it looks like all we're just really going to be getting is just whenever Braun comes back, he'll just does his normal thing and he just runs in being a masked man because that's Seth Rollins' gimmick now. He's not being extravagant with his attire. He's just a masked individual. So we'll just see another masked individual come in and spear him, and you're just starting to hear the crowd just go, because we all know what that is. Because WWE is thinking, oh yeah, we're stupid. We'll just see a masked man and not know who it is, even though we know clear as day who's gonna be. Um, I guess I kind of am with there in there with you guys, just like this needs Braun, and to even go further, this needs Braun to win in a dominant fashion because you got Braun coming back and just to be taken out by Rollins is basically just knocking him down the totem pole again. And that was my biggest criticism last year and even the beginning of this year pre-injury. And it just makes me lose interest because it's like, okay, the whole view of WWE is wait till they're in their late 30s, early 40s to actually push them into the world title picture. All right, so call me. It's like reach me when he turns 35 or when he's in his late 30s. Um, and with that being said, we'll just move on to the main event, which is the continuation of CM Punk versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. But it looks like CM Punk has found his strategy to get to Roman through the Usos, where Punk comes out, starts trash talking Jay in particular. Jay comes out, over emotional, only seeing red, wanting to face Punk. Punk responding, "Hey, you never got your world title rematch. Let's go, man. Let's go." Come, rips off a shirt. Come at me, bro. Essentially, and Jimmy comes out trying to be the voice of reason, saying, "Okay, Jay, you need to calm down. Don't listen to him. You gone ahead and got us disqualified, and now we have to defend the tag team titles next week." And Jay's like, I don't even care about the tag titles. So a part of me is thinking that's what's going to lead to the vision of Paul and Theory winning them before WrestleMania, just so they could do something with the tag titles, apparently, because the Usos are now focused on this storyline. And Jimmy comes to him, it's like, well, this is not our problem. This is Roman's problem. Let this be Roman's problem, which brings Roman out. And he even though he tells Jimmy, respectfully, I am respectfully asking you to leave. This is my business. You had your business earlier with the tag team match. It's over now. This is my business. And all I can think is I look at Jay and he's getting riled up and angry. And all I can think of, even though Roman is saying, with all due respect, leave my ring, I could just see Jay looking back and getting that post PTSD of Roman belittling him and Jimmy throughout the entire bloodline, and that just makes him angrier and builds up his rage. And you have CM Punk here trash talking. So Jay responds. Punk fights back. Roman sees the opening and hits Punk with the Superman punch. And as Roman was leaving, you have Jay barking orders, telling him, "Get the job done. Get the job done. Don't let him do it. Just get the job done." And Roman giving into his emotions, finally showing that what Punk has been saying to him has gotten to him. So he spears him. He power bombs him through the table. Michael Cole is there saying, "Oh, Roman Reigns just showed he doesn't need his family to take out CM Punk, and CM Punk is trashing his it's just trash talking." And I'm just going, Michael Cole, mother, he had Punk was distracted with Jey Uso. That's what gave Roman the opening. So what you just said was wrong, you idiot. Roman did need his family's help to take down Punk at this moment. So stop it. Stop with
Yeah,
this bullshit storytelling.
and it's the reason why CM Punk at the end was saying, I'm not the one that needs help." He's on the ground laughing after just getting powerbombed through a table, and he's laughing and saying to the medical people, "I'm not the one that needs help. Roman does." And it's
And
like, so, so it's one of those. What it's We're now back to me being interested in this storyline because we're now back on, hey, we're back on even keel. Now, remember what I said last week about CM Punk losing his shit because he was called old and being like Roman didn't lose his shit when you made the crack about his dead dad, and you lost your shit when he made the old crack. But now it's like now we're back on the same page because you just got the crap beat out of you, and you're laughing and saying that this is exactly what I've been saying. Roman Reigns is nothing without his family. He's go is His family is giving him orders and he's performing at this point. I'm not the one who needs help. He does. And I'm like, "Ooh, okay, interesting wrinkle here. Now we've got something that we can move forward with for 3 weeks. Okay. I was out, you bought me back in."
I
WWE.
I will say at like this was the thing that I needed. I said last this is the thing that I said I needed last from last week. This is something I needed to just add that little more flavor to the storyline because there's only so many of the same spices you can add that just be like, okay, now it's too much. Now you're adding something new, which is Jey Uso, and it actually really affects the way I'm looking at their WrestleMania match and where they could go after WrestleMania. And that's the kind of storytelling that actually makes me invested because well, as a WWE fan, I don't want to see a new bloodline. I like that they're bringing reminiscence of the bloodline in this storyline, but I don't want a bloodline return. I don't want to basically be like, "Oh, times aren't as good as they used to be, so let's take a few steps back to when it was popular." That's just basically going back to the dead cow and trying to see if there's any milk left. But all we're gonna just get is rotten crap. I actually like the progression that's stemmed from the bloodline, not just basically try and bring it back to life in this one. So I hope when it comes to what they go after, I actually want this storyline to continue to after WrestleMania because it makes what Jay did the past year, which in my honest opinion was just not that great, but he was still Intercontinental Champion. He still won the world title. He was elevated to where you see him barking these orders at Roman Reigns, and Roman is now just be like, "Oh no, maybe I am kind of losing control here. I'm calling myself the OTC, but it's back to the thing. I don't have my tribe, and the people who were my family is basically is just giving me orders. They're not listening to me. They're not taking what I say at heart because again, I am the tribal chief. I am the OTC. So again, it's building that character. It's keeping the character that was developed a few years ago with that bloodline and actually progressing it. And as long as they don't take those few steps back to, I will just be like, okay, I'm in. I'm not enthusiastic about it. I wish I was, but I am in because this was something that was needed. Pete, what do you think about how did you think about this Roman Punk segment and how the Usos may be a good or not so good factor that built this story?
Well, we talked about it last week, gentlemen, about how the old comment was just what was that for? And for them to see that it was not favorable and then pivoting like they did with we said it in the segment before with Seth Rollins and his little masked men. Like WWE is pivoting. If they see the fans are just not a fan, they will pivot. And what they're pivoting with is I think is great because you touched on it a lot, Scholar Tarek. Like look at the year Jey Uso had and we hated every moment of it. But Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. He yeeted his way to the world title. He was the Intercontinental title. So now with this little bit of moxie he has, a little bit of can-do attitude going against Reigns and having that dynamic within the CM Punk and having CM Punk stir it. It's like you gentlemen said. It's I'm dipping my toe back in because man, I got out of this pool, but now you know what it's getting a little bit warmer. It's getting a little bit warmer, and I'm going to see if I want to go back into this pool. And right now, with the 3 weeks they have, I really think they could do a lot in these 3 weeks to make me want to instead jump in through the diving board. Scholar Tark.
That's a good analogy to put it. So it just I leave the WWE discussion with a scholar's quick talk. So after what's happened this past week, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much now more invested are you to WrestleMania? Like how like on paper the card looks great, but how does the build for the storytelling for said card on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your interest in it in WrestleMania?
I'll go a 6 because the women's matches have been built up pretty good. Randy versus Cody. I'm always down for Randy being a psychotic jackass. So when he's just going around being psychotic and killing folks, whether it's Matt Cardona or Cody Rhodes, it's like I'm in. I'm locked in. So that you got Oba and Brock just power me up, bro. But then it's like but then you've got a bunch of other smaller things, and then you've got your main Roman and CM Punk and Seth and Paul and whatever they're doing. Those are weak at the moment. Roman and Cody are starting to pull the Roman and Cody. Roman and CM Punk are starting to pull their weight. It took a little while. It dropped off and then it's starting to come back. But I I think we're gonna need a lot more to get me like really excited. I'm on the cusp of going, hey, it's WrestleMania season. I'm locked in, but I'm not there yet. So I'll give it an above average build.
That's fair. Pete, did it rise or lower your excitement for WrestleMania, and where does
Right
that
now,
go on the 1 to
WrestleMania
10
for
scale?
me is a 5 out of 10. I think right now, Dynasty is the card to beat. And I'm more excited for Dynasty than I am of WrestleMania. At least storylines and action wise. I just feel like, yeah, it got me more with Brock and Omi, but Seth Rollins is weak. Punk and Roman, you gotta hit me with more. Like you gotta get me excited. What is happening? What are the stories going on? Where am I gonna see? Where the fuck is Gunther? Where the fuck is Gunther, people? You have your career killer in John Cena, AJ Styles, two of the greats, and where the fuck is he? Nowhere to be found the
And
last
and
three
it
weeks of Raw.
and it's funny because apparently, if you're going off of news reports, WWE insiders or people inside the company are still saying that Gunther's going to have a big role in WrestleMania. Well, I'm like, that's nice. You got 3 weeks to build it up, and he hasn't been on TV in the first three. So, what are we doing that's so big here, fellas? I would like to know.
But that's why at the end of the day, like it's a 5 out of 10. And when we go into AEW in a moment, like it's why I'm more excited for Dynasty. When have you gentlemen known me to say I'm excited for an AEW pay-per-view? When do you hear me say that? I cannot wait for this pay-per-view over WrestleMania.
It's actually really fun to see how you and Charlie really started giving AEW a chance, and then you're just be like, yeah, this stuff really is a really nice flowing product, and I'm really looking forward to what they're going to do. So more than WrestleMania.
Hmm.
That's
It
pretty
it
big.
helps when you've got a guy that you can get behind. Charlie with Kyle Fletcher, and I'm trying to remember Pete. But but when you get when you get locked in, oh yeah, when you get locked in on a guy, it helps your perception of the product of the show of the group that you're watching. So it's like, because yeah, I remember Charlie. Charlie never gave AEW a fair shot up until, and then he saw a match with Kyle Fletcher in it. It was like, whoa.
Oh, and then he went, and then Jeff and I took him to Full Gear, and it completely blew his mind. But yeah, so with that being said, before we go into AEW, we just want to know what you people watching our show think of just how WWE has been building their road to WrestleMania. Has it been smooth sailing, or has it there been bumps and cracks and be like, oh, this is gonna be a bumpy ride? Has your excitement increased? Has your excitement decreased? Are you looking forward to it? Are they telling the stories that you're wanting to see on WWE television? Leave a comment down below and like and subscribe to our channel. And with that being said, let's go hook. Okay. Let's go pull a Zack Ryder and just go on over here. Get on over. Get on over. Leaping over the fence. Leaping over the fence. And here we are on the side of AEW building to their big pay-per-view before WrestleMania, AEW Dynasty. And they opened their show of Dynamite with Kenny Omega versus Swerve Strickland for the number one contender for the AEW championship, and also Kenny Omega's EVP status, which kind of solidified who was winning this
Yeah,
match. And it's not even just the heel face aspect of like, oh, face Omega versus heel MJF. It's just one of those, oh, so EVP status on the line. Kenny's obviously winning. But that didn't take away how awesome this match was. Great opening to the show. Kind of like takes away the second half of the show, specifically the how the main event with went at. Well, that's also just my bias of not being a huge Darby Allin fan. I can speak words well. Um, but yeah, great start to the show. But it also makes sense why they started the show. They started the show with this match because of what happens later. But yeah, great match with Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland. I loved it.
yeah, that's the thing about AEW, where it's like, you know, going in based on the stipulation, most of the time, you know who's going to win. It's like EVP status is on the line in a number one contenders match. And if Swerve Strickland wins, he's going to become EVP. Well, that's obviously not going to happen, right? So it's like, you know that Kenny Omega's going to win this match. The good thing about AEW is the match is so good that there's a part of you that forgets that you know who's going to win this match. So it's like it helps you enjoy it more because your brain shuts off, because the match is so good. It gets you into a spot where it's you forget the stipulation and we're back to even keel. Even though the back of your mind is still saying, hey, Kenny Omega's got to win this match. Remember that. But it's like the action's so good, it's like you don't care. So it's like, yeah, the match was great. You knew going in that Kenny Omega was going to win, but that's fine because Kenny Omega versus MJF at Dynasty has got to be aces. And Swerve Strickland, Swerve Strickland is not hurt by this loss in any way. So
No,
I'm like,
not at all.
that's good. So it's like, this is great. You got Kenny Omega versus MJF for the title. Swerve Strickland is not hurt because he already beat Kenny and was the reason Kenny was out for a month and a half. So he got to go on that baddest man on the planet in the AEW feud with Brody King, which solidified his badass cred. And you you get a banger main event for AEW Dynasty, which works for me.
Pete, did you see this match between Kenny Omega and Swerve on
It,
Dynamite Kick?
it's like I told you, gentlemen, before. Again, it's I named him before in the wrestlers that just give 5-star matches, and Kenny Omega and Swerve it was no different. Great battle. But you knew Kenny was gonna win at the end, but it didn't take away from those moments where you're just like, man, like I am watching poetry in motion with these two. And it was great storytelling because, as Scholar Brian said, it's also where it's like Kenny gets his redemption against Swerve, and now you have MJF versus Kenny Omega. And to quote Scholar Brian again, that match is going to be aces because it's just going to be two great performers. Two, I remember MJF on Chris Van Veek podcast, and him talking about how he's the best wrestler right now, and he goes, "What about Kenny Omega?" He's like, "If you put us both in a name, I'm people are looking my name up first." But he goes, "Kenny's gonna go down as one of the best wrestlers." He goes, "When we wrestled all those years back on Collision," and I go, "Wow, they've wrestled on Collision. This is them going to be wrestling at a pay-per-view. This is going to." Be probably one of the best matches of the year, in my opinion. And furthers why I say everything AEW is doing right now is hitting for a fan who a year ago could not tell you any superstars in AEW except the ones who came over. Scholar Tark.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that I we can might as well just segue that into what happened later with the promo of with MJF and Kenny Omega and the idea of having the storyline, or at least I guess the branding of it be the devil versus the wrestling god. And really looking back at their promo and just going, it's like, all right, well, the last time we faced each other, I was only like at 60%. And now you have me here close to 100%. Oh, yeah, I you're gonna get one hell of a match at Dynasty, and may the best man win. And you have MJF. Okay, yeah, yeah, you got your match at Dynasty, but as for your handshake, bye.
Oh yeah.
So
It's one of those if MJF did the handshake, that would have been you can't if you're nicknamed the devil, you don't shake hands with nobody. That
even a wrestling god. Um,
I
but
love
yeah,
that
that
line though from that
oh,
promo with the nobody's on the level of the devil, and I'm just like, oh, MJF just spitting.
that's what he does, and he's only
And
30. His career is still young, and he's been a multiple time world champion, and he's already established himself as one of the big players. He's really the one pillar of the original four pillars that are just really making a name for himself. And yeah, I'm just super excited for Dynasty. I can't wait to see because and they only have like the 2 weeks left. They really don't have that. They don't need anything else. They don't need to say anything else. As long as they don't do that stupid uh, what is it called? The with all the interviewers that they did with Hangman Adam Page and MJF before their match at Revolution.
Oh, the
The
press conference.
the
Yeah,
press
no,
conference. Thank you. As long as they don't
no,
do
but
that kind of
no, they don't need that. They're gonna do the Kenny Omega contract signing next week, and then that'll be the end of it. Whatever, but it's one of those. It's good to have a title match where you don't know who's gonna win, and there's no like for me like there's no emotional attachment to this person needs to win because I've got plans for how this summer's gonna go.
yeah.
And for me, it does. And for me, either way, it doesn't matter who wins this match because either way is very good for my plans for the summer. but it's but it's one of those you're guaranteed a great match because say what you want about MJF in the ring, he always brings it. He talks a bunch of shit, and you think he's going to be a chicken shit heel, but he gets in the ring and he's anything but.
Well,
So it's
I'll even argue with that. Like, he's kind of like a different. He's like a different breed of chicken shit heel because he plays that cowardly heel character so well, but he also has the tools to back up what he says. He just goes and just acts like that chicken shit heel when he feels threatened, and only really pulls that out when he really needs it. He doesn't have a posse. All he really has is the diamond ring, but it's really like he's that chicken shit heel that can still be threatening when he needs to be. And that's actually just a good dynamic for a nice full round character heel that he presents himself.
exactly that was always my problem with the WWE version of the chicken shit heel because they were always chicken shit. Like it was every every match. That was my problem with the Moxley Death Riders championship run. It's like we know this dude. We know Moxley. We know Moxley can do it on his own. We've been seeing him do it for 5 years, being able to do it on his own, and now he is the consummate chicken shit heel, and I hate it. But it's like the this is like the first version that I've seen in a while of someone who presents like a chicken shit heel, but rarely actually does the actions of a chicken shit heel. Like he'll do them when necessary, but it's more likely that he'll win by devious means than run away to try to get himself counted out or DQ'd,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. He doesn't have people running for him. It's he wins by any means necessary, and I like that.
I like
Listen,
I like that too. It really works out for him. Pete, you were gonna
but that's
put your notes in?
to further like that's the thing with MJF is he is just the perfect heel right now. I don't think anybody in the business is doing it better than him. He's carrying this company on his back. He has been entertaining every week. He brings hatred from the fans, but you also love to hate him. And he's got that dirtiest player in the game, like a Ric Flair, where he doesn't need to get counted out. But man, he'll walk up to you and just strut his nuts in your face. because that's just MJF, a disrespectful little prick. But he just plays it so wonderful, and it's to the point where you have Kenny Omega, one of the best wrestlers to ever grace a ring, versus MJF. Like, this is magic. You're gonna go basically a week before WrestleMania. Like, this is a match people want to see. Full stop. And it is going to be a 6-star match. Skull Dark.
I completely agree. I'm just right now, I'm actually curious what other matches have been confirmed. So it is just MJF Kenny Omega for the world title. It's Moxley versus Will Ospreay in a singles match, which we're about to get on that storyline. And it's FTR versus Cope and Christian for the World Tag Team titles. That's we only have three matches so far, and I am just super pumped on what they can bring uh to that show. And let's hop right into Will with Will Ospreay and with what Brian said earlier about how when Mox was champion, he was the chicken shit heel that we all know is like, okay, this isn't Moxley. Now we have this new Moxley that is really starting to become that honorable heel, where he's still a heel character, but he is the one that he has a code. He like look at what he did with Wheeler Yuta when Yuta had to shave his head. He's like, "You lost. Yeah, you dug your grave. Now just lay it down and take it." So, and now he comes here and he's like, "Okay, Osprey, you want your match with me at Dynasty? You have it. But be careful with what you say because it will come back to haunt you." And I don't people are looking at this as Moxley taking steps back and becoming that Death Rider heel. I honestly don't see that because he really is he's giving Osprey that warning saying, "You mess with the bull, you're gonna get the horns." And it actually fits well with the character that Mox has been presenting since losing the world title. And Brian brought this up before we started recording tonight. I thought this was just going to be the first match uh into like a series where Osprey will go for the Continental title. But then Brian points out, "Oh no, they're the Owen Hart tournament is going to be coming up after Dynasty." And I look at this as the way because again Brian opened my eyes to this. This is the way where Osprey can get a nice big win over Mox and then just take the Owen Hart Cup to get him a world title match at Wembley. And it begs the question, are they turning Will Osprey more like heel-ish or are they actually gonna turn him heel? Where are they gonna go
I
with Will Osprey?
I don't think so. I think he's righteously angry and rightfully angry because whether Moxley is a face now or not, or whether he's honorable or not, they are the ones who broke Will Ospreay's neck and put him out for half a year and almost ended his career. So it's like he is rightfully very angry at the moment, and he's going after the guy who it's like, I don't care that you've turned over a new leaf. I don't care that you're fighting honorably now. You were the one who did this to me, and I'm going to take it out on your ass. which which is a very natural point of view, and it's as the commentator said at Dynasty. uh yes, Moxley has turned over a new leaf, but you still have to deal with what you did when you were still doing those things.
The
So
sins
I
of your
think that
past
this is
coming to haunt you. Yeah.
exactly. So I think that this is a grudge match. It'll probably get a stipulation of some kind. I think Moxley is going to tell his guys to stay in the back because it's going to be like, I did this. I'm the one who planned this out. Whatever happens to me. Stay out of it. That kind of deal. And they don't put it under and it's actually smart to not have it for the Continental title because then you don't have to follow the Continental title rules. You don't have the time limit and all that. So that works out in the way, and it gets, and because it's for the title, you know what's going to happen here. You knew what was going to happen beforehand, but now that it's not for the title, it just kind of locks it in.
Hmm.
But it's another one of those deals where it's like, you know who the winner's going to be, but it's Osprey and Mox. So you're going into it like, I know we're getting the banger. I'm excited anyway.
And it
But I
really
don't think it's
just
turning. But I don't think it's doing anything to turn Osprey heelish or heel of any kind. I think it's just Moxley getting what's coming to him.
maybe it's just because he dyed his hair brown, where it's like, oh no, he's pulling the Cody Rhodes, and
Oh
like
God, nah,
golden hair means good guy, dark brown hair means he's turning
no,
bad.
no. It's the whole you broke my neck and now you got to pay for it.
I think that's what it is. At the end of the day, it's just a simple grudge match. There's no heels, there's no faces. This is two people that everybody fucking loves. And it's two people that are going to put on a banger of a match. And it's these two that's going to compete against Kenny Omega and MJF for the match of the night because both these four men can bring it. And I feel like the stipulation is right on the money, Scholar Brian. I feel like it's going to be some kind of last man standing or no hole, something crazy where it's like, man, you fucked up my neck and now I'm going to beat the and piss out of you. That's how we do it, good old England. And I'm gonna bring your ass down to fucking Big Ben and fucking hang you up there to watch you suffer. Why? It's just going to be a bloody massacre, but it's also going to be something where you're going to see Mox definitely atone for his sins, where people are going to stand him, and you're just going to see these two men go to war. And it's going to be the beginning, I feel, of the Will Ospreay story that we've been hinting at all episode that we all know is coming at Wembley. Like we're seeing that whoever he ends up going towards at the end, but at the end of the day, like this is, I believe, Will Ospreay's Cody Rhodes beginning story.
And quite honestly, I can see the ending of the match going the way of uh it's going to be one of those John Moxley on the ground on his knees giving the come at me
Yeah.
bro, and then Will Ospreay he hits him with like one of his finisher, and John Moxley kicks out, but he's still out of it, and that kind of deal, and he kind of gets up to his knees and he's like, "Come on, do it again," because at that point he knows he's done, but it's like, "All right, do it again," that kind of thing, and it's
Make
got
your
to be one of
statement.
those. Because it's like we've seen it before, and to complete and the Osprey thing is going to be like the last thing he needs to atone for. So he's just going to sit there at the end and take it, not try to fight it after the first finisher. I'm sorry, I forget what it's called.
Oh,
But
Osprey. Oh, I forgot. I have a terrible memory. I'm terrible with names, but I know what you mean, and it'll lead to the that one moment that we've been talking about ever since Will Ospreay debuted in AEW. It's like, all right, Will Ospreay's in AEW. When's he getting the world title? Just give it to
Wembley,
him.
motherfucker. Wembley,
Exactly.
lock it in.
Every time there's a Wembley show, it's like, oh, that's the perfect place for Will to get the world
And
title.
whoever wins the main event between MJF and Omega is going to be the person that Ospreay faces. And either one works.
Oh yeah,
So
it's
that's
a
why I
win-win
said
for either.
and that's why I said I have no emotional attachment to that main event as to who wins. Because I know either way, the main event for Wembley has got to be a banger.
100% agree. Um, I guess really because there's only like 2 weeks left, and I think that's just a minimum. I guess now their main focus is just to actually build the rest of that card. I mean, they only have two. They need to make at least 11 more matches, 12 tops to
Yeah,
get that 14 card.
we know how AEW works. It's like, yeah, we got the main matches out of the way. Now we're just gonna throw now we're just gonna throw shit at you. And it's gotta be awesome, but there's gotta be no build whatsoever. We're just gonna throw shit at you.
I think of all the like the mid-card stuff, I think the one I'm really looking forward to seeing where they're going to go is the story with Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita. Just the backstage segment, just saying we still have each other's back. I respect you type of ordeal. And I'm just thinking, where is that gonna go? And then you also have Andrade being MJF's like I guess hired assassin because him and MJF and Don Callis made a deal. But you seeing Andrade be like, I don't want to do this. I want to just go for the world title. Hell, maybe Andrade and Darby is going to be a match at Dynasty
It's either going to
because
be
you have
Andrade or Mark Davis because holy shit.
yeah, I know
that
Mark Davis,
that
but
spike at the end. That was just that was so good because there was like there was like no hesitation. Like that could have gone so wrong. But
man,
because it was like he just lifted him up, like there was no hesitation. He just lifted him up and dropped him. It's like that could have ended so badly.
yeah, it could have ended so badly. That's like the sentence you could say anything with Darby Allin. I mean, shit, man, he took that belly to belly on the stairs, and I'm thinking this man is literally trying to kill himself
I
with just
hate
all
to
of these
do this
stunts.
because I feel like he's better now, but it feels like Darby's gonna go the way of Jeff Hardy.
Oh, he's already in that, like he's
But I
already
mean,
down that
I
path.
don't mean I don't mean the the actual wrestling bit of it. I think it's gonna go. I think we're on the road for the full Jeff Hardy experience. I hate to say it, but it's like
Minus probably the painkillers and
if
drugs and getting addicted.
if anybody on that roster needs painkillers every day, it's Darby Allin. Based
It
off of
really
what he
makes
does
me
in that
worry.
ring, unless he's fucking Gumby. I don't know. I don't know who you could do that. I don't know how you can do that shit every week and not have to take stuff for the pain. I don't know how it's possible. I hope that it is, but I mean you're doing wild shit every week, bro. Wild
This man,
shit.
he's gonna have an extremely short career if he keeps going on like this. And it's his body. He could do whatever he wants with it. But Jesus, man, come on.
I mean,
Think
like
about the future.
I'm like pay per view grudge matches. Sure, pull out all the stops. Like weekly TV, 10-minute regular match. You don't be needing to take the bumps that you do at every single match, bro. I'm like, I get it. You want to differentiate yourself from other people. There are other ways to do that. Then I'm gonna kill myself every match.
Essentially.
Jeff Hardy learned that lesson. I hope you don't have to too.
As long as he doesn't come out completely stoned out of his mind and he doesn't have Sting to just back him up or just to pin him to be like, all right, yeah, this sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pete, do you have anything to say about Darby Allin and the risk he takes to for our entertainment?
It's insane. The man's insane.
Yeah.
Like, I just remember when he fell off the ladder into the glass with the chairs, and I'm just like, buddy, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And again, you hear the story where he's like, I slept in my car. Like, I just wanted to be a pro wrestler. I love the story. I love that he wants to give back to the business. But as you said, Scholar Tarek, how long is that going to be with your, you're not going to be wrestling into your 50s, you know? I feel like he's going to be a Sabu where you're going to see scars all over his body from different things that happen. But again, you saw Sabu towards the end when he was wrestling where it was just it wasn't there. And I feel like that will be the same thing with Darby Allin. He'll do it so many extreme things, so many oh my God moments, but come in his 40s, 50s, you're going to see him do a match and it's just not going to be as pretty as not saying that he's a five-star wrestler by any means, gentlemen. I'm just
He's
saying
not.
the flair will not be there. It will be like, oh, I remember when you were young and just full of energy and this spunky little kid.
Yeah.
So I got.
Yeah, that really, what more else can you say? Well, with that being said, now we look at just what could possibly be the undercard for Dynasty, and does it make you like what can they do to actually make you want to buy the pay-per-view? And I'll leave that to you, our listening audience. What do you think of how they're building AEW Dynasty with the three matches they have so far? And what are you hoping that will be the undercard of the show? Again, they have like 12 matches they have to put on. It'll probably be whatever you probably suggest will most likely be on the card. If anything, will be on the pre-show. Hell, that one will be like a Jungle Jack Perry versus Ricochet. What the one-on-one match for the national championship. I don't even think have they done anything on either
It's
Dynamite or Collision
they
since
did
then.
the not together. They had Ricochet off of TV for a couple weeks
Oh yeah, what
be-
he said
because of
online.
the
Yeah, that's
tweet
right.
that we will not mention. But
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he came back last on Dynamite and was basically like, I'm sorry for losing my temper. I'm sorry for my anger, but I was never pinned. I never submitted. So technically, I never lost.
So yeah, there you go. They're already starting that match, and I'm looking forward to seeing what those two could do one on one. But yeah, um, that's all I got for AEW Dynamite. Champ, you actually wanted to take the reins for our outro, so let's see what you got, sir.
Well, I appreciate it, sir. Of course, if you are new here, we would very much appreciate a like, a subscribe, share with your friends. Of course, comment. Do you agree with Scholar Bryant, Scholar Talk, and myself on the dealings of Raw and AEW? Of course, we are the scholars of wrestling. We come to you every week with predictions. We give you our thoughts on the latest Raws and Dynamites. And sometimes when there are big things in the wrestling world, like Danhausen coming back in Elimination Chamber, that just takes over an episode. You never know what you're going to get with the Scholars of Wrestling, but it's going to be a good time with good people. So I urge you guys, definitely keep us on lock, hit that notification so you know when all our new videos are out. Scholar Tar, back to you.
Very good, sir. Very good. Now, all I guess, oh, only because you brought him up, I'm going to throw one more scholar's quick talk. Do you actually think Danhausen is going to get into the Hall of Fame this year?
No, but he's gonna curse everybody who did.
Who did get in the hole? Oh no, he's gonna curse AJ Styles. He's gonna curse Stephanie McMahon. Oh no.
Yes,
Oh,
I need to
let's
see it.
see. Let's see. Demolition's also in this in the class this year too,
Demolition's
correct?
in. Yep.
Demolition is gonna be cursed. Oh, I'm gonna just say
The
yes.
just
Why the hell not? He's already made such a great impact with the amount of time. Let him join the Hall of Fame and
Look,
just be like
the
the
crowd,
man who's in the Hall of Fame the least amount of time in WWE. I actually
the
think that's
crowd
hilarious.
loves this dude. The crowd loves this dude. The fact that they were chanting as he was doing the dance for the "You Are Cursed." I'm just like, hey, remember when he came out of the box and everyone booed and no one online liked what was going on? Well, we're about a month in and he's the funniest thing on the show. He is taking over R-Truth's funny spot,
I will
retake.
say
which means which means he has done his job. Look, I never need to see that man in the ring. I don't need to see him wrestle. Just have him keep doing this stick until the end of time. I love it.
it really just begs the question, who is going to be the first person he's actually going to be physical in the ring with? Just to
The
piss
Miz.
people off, it's probably going to be Gunther.
He's got to try to curse Gunther, and before he gets cursed, Gunther's just got to chop the shit out of him.
You are bam. Oh no. Oh, he broke the Gunther broke the curse. Oh man, that's gonna turn Jeff off of Gunther. Oh no. Oh, with that being oh no.
We lost the host.
I will no. I probably willed that into existence. Just you wait.
as soon as you
Oh,
said as soon as you said Gunther, it's like he's not getting out those three words.
oh no. No, he'll say he's cursed and Gunther will be the first one to break the curse.
No, I'm saying he doesn't even get out the three words. You are chop.
You. And then Gunther's response, "You are dead." And then we never see Danhausen again and he kills that career too. No.
No, we leave Deadhausen alone.
Yes, we leave Danhausen alone. The Scholars of Wrestling loves Danhausen. And if Jeff isn't gonna do it, one of us will put on that makeup for one episode. Be like Brian Hausen, Pete Hausen, Jeff Hausen, Charlie Hausen, Tarek Hausen.
Harryhausen.
I think we should start a petition that if we get enough money, Scholar Charlie has to put on the Danhausen makeup.
Well, we gotta put him in. We gotta put him in
No,
some
you got to
scenario.
make
Like,
sure
there's
some.
got to be a punishment for one of the prediction show. If you're in last place, you have to put your punishment is to put on the Danhausen makeup.
We should do that for Mania, biggest show of the year.
Oh, imagine. Oh, what are we doing?
Then we got
That'll
up
be
the
the week I
razzle.
take off because I've got nobody who can do it for me.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, with that being said, it is now time for us to turn it over to you, our audience. What do you think of the build to WrestleMania? What do you think of the build to Dynasty? Which AEW or WWE, which one is putting on the more entertaining product, makes you want to spend your money to watch their shows? Leave your comments down below. And as Pete said earlier, like, subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notifications whenever we post new shit. And what more else can we say? We looked at this week. We're finding some enjoyment. We're looking at the other side. We're finding even more enjoyment. But that's just who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're
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 welcome.
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 see you all next week for whatever happens on the next shows of wrestling, and we'll just continue talking about it even more, whether or not we're actually going to keep building or not to actually our enjoyment to the shows.